Week 8 is about to kick off in fantasy football. I know I missed the waiver wire video. We will get to it at the end and talk about some of the players that we should be monitoring or adding in fantasy. But let's go over and talk about Thursday Night Football this week because we have a lot to talk about and uncover. Who are we going to start? Who are we going to sit? And what defenses and kickers are on the line and in play for this game? So let's roll the intro. Don't mind me, I know I look like one of the Chargers players from last week, but we are going to talk about the Chargers in this video, the Chargers and the Vikings. So two teams with a little bit of this yellowish gold in their colors, but let's get straight into it. At the time of me recording this video, I do not know who's going to start for the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday night, being that we haven't heard anything about J.J. McCarthy, and it's kind of between is Carson Wentz going to be ready or not, or is Max Brosmer, the next man up, going to take the start on Thursday night? I do believe if we're not even considering J.J. McCarthy, it's very likely that he probably won't even play next week either. They're going to be as safe as they can with preserving their first round pick and making sure he doesn't get injured again. So I think we could assume J.J. McCarthy has no chance of playing this week or next week. Carson Wentz does probably have a chance of playing this week. Again, I'm not a doctor or an expert, just going off of reading between the lines of these reports. Maybe it's going to be Carson Wentz, and if it's not, Max Brosmer will be the quarterback. But we're going to go ahead and start our Vikings wide receivers regardless. I mean, if you drafted Justin Jefferson in your first round, you're probably not going to sit him, or in most cases probably can't afford to sit him on your fantasy teams, which is fine. And you can get to start him this week no matter who the quarterback is. And the same goes for Jordan Addison. Yes, some weeks are great, some weeks leave more to be desired, but Jordan Addison should finish at around a top 25 receiver this week. And in fact, you're probably looking at 5 in total in this matchup potentially. We're talking about Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addison. All potentially could be top 25 guys, so I think they all need to get in your lineups regardless. It looks like Aaron Jones may be ready to go for this game. Do not throw him right into your starting lineups. I don't expect much opportunities to be there for him. We're still going to rock out with Jordan Mason at the 1. Now let's talk about the LA Chargers more. Justin Herbert's got to be a must-start quarterback this week. Kamani Vidal is a must-play running back this week. I do think Jordan Mason has a better opportunity to score more points. I don't want to say matchup, but probably projects better for me is the better term to say. And we need to talk about Oronde Gadsden, who is now a must-start tight end in fantasy. I don't feel great about making that statement, though, because, yes, we've seen him make unbelievable contested catches. He is great at possessing the football and seems like he may have a long-term career in the NFL, but we're kind of just playing him based off of the production he's had over the last couple weeks and not really projecting how well it's going to go for him in the near future. As long as there is going to be 3 wide receivers healthy, Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, and Quentin Johnston, you're probably not going to see a lot of opportunities for Oronde Gadsden to eat into the target share. When you see a guy like Quentin Johnston come out of the lineup for a week, then you get to see Oronde Gadsden pour in the opportunities and play well. But in this case, yes, Oronde Gadsden had a good game last week and all the pieces were there, but I don't know how many more weeks we could really expect to rely on that consistently as a starting fantasy tight end. While we're talking about Oronde Gadsden, the tight end position, TJ Hawkinson should not be started in this game. It seems like at this point in his career, he is a shell of himself as a player, and it seems like the injuries have taken its toll on him, which is very unfortunate, but I don't think you could start him in this Thursday night game. For the Vikings kicker and defense, I also would not start them. Will Reichert has a great matchup, but we don't know what the quarterback situation is going to look like. I would look elsewhere for both kicker and defense, but you know which ones you can play? The Chargers kicker and defense. Cam Dicker is more than just a good start this week, and the Chargers defense is probably going to be around the top 5-6 best fantasy defenses you can start. So definitely try to get your hands on one of those, and you should be good for your Thursday night game. I did mention we'll talk about some waiver wire guys, so very briefly, let's get right into it. Kyle Monangai should probably be the most coveted guy off the waiver wires this week. Most of your waiver wires have already processed by the time this video is uploaded to YouTube, but nevertheless, Kyle Monangai probably worth just about 10% of your fab. I would not break the bank to go all in to get him. there's still an opportunity in front of him, or a player in front of him in DeAndre Swift with plenty of opportunities to take from him. And it's also good to keep in mind on the other side of the coin why you should be adding Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai is the complementary back potentially that Ben Johnson has been looking for. When they had the Lions offense over the last few years, it was Jahmyr Gibbs, but also David Montgomery was a big part of the offense. When DeAndre Swift was coached by Ben Johnson on the Detroit Lions, Jamal Williams took all of the touchdowns from him. So obviously Ben Johnson likes running out multiple running backs. Kyle Monangai is the guy ready to answer that call. But will this be a 50-50 backfield? I'm going to say no. But Kyle Monangai does have some promise and should be added on rosters because you just don't know what could happen in the next few weeks. A player that also should be added because we just don't know what the outcomes are going to end up being. Oronde Gadsden has looked like a phenomenal, unguardable tight end in fantasy. He is elite in terms of yards per reception, elite in terms of contested catch rate. But why is he not the you must go get him? Why is he not more important than Kyle Monangai? There's a lot of weapons in this offense, ironically. We would have never said that in the beginning of the year. We would have only thought that Ladd McConkey was there. Obviously, for most of that year, Keenan Allen wasn't signed, so we didn't even know that that was going to be a thing. However, there are a lot of opportunities and players that need to get the ball in this offense, and without an injury, I don't really see how Oronde Gadsden rest of season is this must-start tight end every single week. We're going to get Amari and Hampton back at some point. He was taking a lot of receptions out of the backfield. That's going to eat into Oronde Gadsden's work without you even realizing. And while, yes, this Chargers offense throws the ball a lot, the fourth highest rate in the NFL, I believe, right now, they are going to have the volume for Gadsden. But there are a lot of players in this offense that make me feel like this is more high risk, high reward than anything else. And that's going to wrap it up. I made sure to cover defenses and kickers, something I haven't been doing in most of the start-sit videos because those things are like 27 minutes long and it's just a lot to get through every matchup. I was hoping maybe just separating Thursday Night Football, and maybe we'll do the Sunday games in one video and a Monday Night Football one in the next one, or maybe we'll just combine the two together. But let me know down in the comments what you want to see, and I'll do my best to make it happen. Part of me feels like I owe you guys some sort of explanation as to why I was gone for a week and didn't say a thing about it. I just have to be honest and say that I just was personally getting really burnt out from the videos and stuff like that. I know I'm not trying to make no sob story. I signed up for this. I want to do this. But it was just taking a lot out of me, and I had to kind of just step back, take a week off, even though I probably should have said something about it. I didn't want to make some kind of like dramatic video like I'm leaving for good because I just took a week off. It ain't that serious. You know, sometimes as much as we love the game, fantasy football can suck. I just really was going through it. Obviously, you can paint the picture together. Not doing too good in fantasy. But it wasn't even about not doing too good in fantasy. I just really, really, really wanted to beat the player I was versing last week. And I didn't win. I didn't deserve to win. But the way I lost was enough to make me not want to do videos for a week. Let's just say that. And I feel confident about saying this because I know that this person definitely doesn't watch my videos. But I just really wanted to beat this person so bad that I let it kind of take priority over everything else in my life. And that's when I kind of realized it ain't that serious. You know what I mean? It's just a game at the end of the day. We're going to win some weeks. We're going to lose some weeks. I know I sound like I got the loser mentality, but it's just a game and life's going to go on. Thank you for coming to my Turtle Talk. That is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Turtle. This is Outlier Fantasy. And we're not going anywhere because I will see you in the next video. Wow, you stuck to the end of this video? Thank you so much. If you're new here, make sure you check out one of these videos on the screen right now. And don't forget, before you leave, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any fantasy football videos on this channel. And that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.